Hey besties, and welcome back to the MakarttPro channel. Today is going to be such a fun video. I'm going to show you how I create a full set from start to finish using the entire MakarttPro system. So we're going to do some application and finish off this full set with some nail art using MakarttPro's newest 60 gel polish collection. But before you can get into nail art, you need to decide what base system you're using. If you're an acrylic tech, builder gel, gel flex, whatever the case is, figure out what base we're doing, and then we can get into the nail art. Let's go, bestie. I chose acrylic for my base, so I'm going in with my holy trinity, which is our cover powders, the 100% Kolinsky brush, and our low odor monomer. Our products work best as a system to give you that buttery smooth performance every single time you use them. And I always suggest using our low odor monomer if you are a beginner, because it does have a slower setting time, allowing you time to mold and play with that acrylic to get a very smooth application without it setting way too fast. I am doing a 3-bead application, so for your first bead, I suggest picking up a medium to large size bead depending on the length of the nails. Your first bead should be larger because you want it to cover the entire free edge of the nail. If this was a real client, you would place that first bead right where you would glue the nail tip at. And at that point, you can use tapping and feathering motions to pull that acrylic down to cover the entire tip. I like using the tapping method because it allows the acrylic to set before it's just sliding off the nail tip, and I'm not wasting so much product. Once you have the entire nail tip covered, then you can go in with more firm strokes to smooth that acrylic over and then cut the excess acrylic off at the tip. Be sure you are always wearing gloves, especially for this step right here. A lot of nail techs go in with their bare thumb to cut that excess acrylic off, but we don't want contact dermatitis. Your next bead will be a medium-sized bead, and you're going to place that one right above where you placed the last one. This is your apex bead. This is going to build that structure and stability of the nail. So I placed it, and I'm not really messing with the top too much. I'm just tapping it in place, and then I'll smooth the bottom of it down so that I can keep all the acrylic where I need it to be in that apex area. At this point, the entire free edge is already covered, so you can use firm strokes to blend that new bead into the last one, keeping your very smooth application. And I'm using the sides of my brush to keep that nice square shape so that I have minimal filing to do once I'm finished application. And your last bead will be a small bead, but more on the drier side, but not too dry because you still need it to blend into the natural nail. This one will be placed right on top where the last bead was, but you're not going to place it directly into the cuticle. So I like to place this one and hold it a little bit so it creates its own structure. And then I'll use the tip of my brush to push it into the cuticle, creating a very flush look. Be sure to always keep your client's fingers pointed down so that we're not flooding the cuticle area, and gravity will do most of the work. Now I'm using the tip of my brush to blend in the top of the cuticle bead and then dragging it down on the sides and then in the middle, and I'm going to do this tapping motion to completely blend it into the 2 beads that I placed prior. And now we have a base to work with. For filing, I like to use an 80/80 grit nail file and a 5-in-1 drill bit. These two are definitely my go-tos and the only 2 tools that I use to shape and file my nails before using nail art. Going in with my hand file, I like a really nice square boxy look before actually cleaning up with my e-file. So I'm going to go back and forth on each side, making sure I'm not filing one side more than the other. Keeping my hand file very straight because the shape we are going for is square. Now I'm going in and I'm filing that free edge at an angle. Next up, I'm going in with my MakarttPro e-file. I'm using about 16 RPMs right here. My application was pretty smooth, so all I needed to do was go in and seal that cuticle. Being very mindful when I get around that cuticle area, you don't want to catch your client's skin, so always make sure your drill bit is facing their skin no matter what direction you're working in. Then I use the body of the drill just to run over the sides of the nails to get rid of all those scuffs and scratches that the e-file made, and then I'll clean up that tip because you want your tip to be as thin as a credit card. Using Velvet Matte Top Coat as the base, apply this to all nails before you go in with your nail art and cure that for 60 seconds. At this point, I decided I wanted to do Leopard or Cheetah French tips. Not sure which one they are. So I chose the 3 colors, and I'm going in with the 25mm liner brush by MakarttPro. And I'm starting off the outline for my French tips. I like to start with 2 lines on the sides just to get an idea of how far I want my French tips to go on the side. And then I'll start making a V, allowing these 2 lines to meet in the middle from both sides. Once I have these two lines placed, I kind of have an idea of how deep I want my fringe to be. So I'll be using the tip of the nail brush and doing this swinging, swooping motion until I get the kind of fringe tip I like. Now, because our gel collection is super pigmented, not only does it make it perfect for nail art, but it makes it perfect to not have to use so much product to get it right the first time. You don't need multiple coats to get a nice opaque look using our gel collection, so I'm using very minimal product just to fill in the rest of this fringe tip to get it exactly how I wanted, but also to make sure it cures fully through when I put it in the lamp. Once I finish this fringe tip, I'm going to repeat the same for the rest of the nails, and then I'll put it in the lamp to cure for 60 seconds. If I can convince you to buy anything to create a perfect fringe tip, it would be this 25mm liner brush. And as you can see, it's giving very much crisp, very much fringe tip. Now I have my fringe tip laid and I'm going in with the darker brown to create my leopard print. I like to use a dotting tool to start the base of the spots. This design does not have to be perfect, so just placing your spots in any abstract way will tie the whole look together. And being sure you're not pulling a whole bunch of product on your dotting tool so that when you do place it in your lamp, it cures fully. Keep repeating this step on all fingers until you have your entire base of your leopard prints laid out for the next step. For the outline, I like to go in with a smaller liner tool. Now, this is what really brings the whole design together. Going around each of the brown spots with my liner brush and some black gel polish, I'm just adding 2 to 3 little lines and going back and forth between how many I put around each dot will really tie the entire look together. I don't think I've seen a leopard or a cheetah more than one time in person, but I'm almost positive none of their spots are extremely identical, which is what makes this look so much fun to create. Now, once you have those initial spots done, you want to fill in all that open space. So just take the same liner brush and the same black gel polish and just add some minor dots of all different shapes and sizes just to fill in that open space and bringing this entire look together. Cure that design for 60 seconds, add some ultra glass top coat, and you have just completed an entire full set of acrylic fringe tips and leopard or cheetah print design, and look how beautiful it came out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And there you go, besties. We created a full set from start to finish using the entire MakarttPro system. And aside from their acrylics, I showcased their new 60 gel polish collection, which is super pigmented and perfect for nail art like we did today. But I think my favorite thing that they just dropped is our new hyper realistic practice hands. This is perfect for pro and beginner if you really want to get into practicing whatever system you use and your nail art. Do your nail art, take the hand off of the mount and slap it into a nail lamp. It's absolutely perfect. And I know we've all been there when we're struggling to bring the lamp to the hand and stick it in just right so we don't mess up our nail art. You don't have to worry about that. Take the hand out, slap it into this lamp, and you're good to go. I might be biased, but I had a ton of fun creating this full set today. The entire MakarttPro brand is built to help beginners and professionals alike to create full sets with ease, and I think that's exactly what we did today. If you guys want to see more fun videos like this in the future, please comment down below and let me know, and I will see all my besties in the next video. Bye!